Welcome back to another action-packed episode of Comic Confidential. I'm your host, Cade Moyer, and alongside me today in a very small hotel room with, what is this, two single-side beds?
Two single beds.
Yeah, two single beds next to each other. It's my co-host, Troy Spinner.
Hey, man.
Hey.
How you going? This is very cozy.
It is very cozy. We are on location. The first real on-location, I guess, recording that we've ever really done.
Yeah, that's right. So I guess please excuse the sound quality if it is a little bit different. We can't exactly soundproof this room. And B, thanks for joining us, I guess.
Me?
Well, I'm talking to the people out there.
Oh,
You're going to be there anyway, so you don't count. Why are we here?
It's a big day for you, Troy.
It is a big day for me. It's a big day for me tomorrow. I get to be the best man at a wedding.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you so much. I'm pretty pumped.
Yeah, you look really excited.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty pumped and pretty jacked. I've done some push-ups. I got to be up in front of people.
You've got a little glow about you.
I do. I've exfoliated my skin multiple times. But look, I do want to take this opportunity, because I'll probably never get another one, this opportunity to say congratulations, my beautiful co-host Cade, on your wedding tomorrow.
Oh, thank you very much.
So that's what we're doing here. We are out on location because of that. But hey, you think that's going to stop us from bringing you guys an episode? You're crazy.
It's only going to make the episode a little bit crazy.
Exactly. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to cover off today. We're doing our favorite animated superhero movies of all time.
I'm sure there's a trigger warning coming with this one.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Marvel fanboys, watch out.
DC fanboys, watch out. We're gonna there's gonna be some Marvel ones in there.
I'll be very surprised.
I have put some in there. Just to make sure we cover all bases.
Yeah, cool.
And there's some stuff that's not even either of them.
I know there is actually a few real curveballs in there. So
exactly.
Just keep your ears prepped for that one a bit later on.
We'll get into that soon enough. We've also got a lot of news. News, man. News. It kind of goes from nothing to holy shit, everything has just happened.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I feel like this week has been.
Is it just the Star Wars shit bomb has gone off again?
Yeah, there's that. A lot of people are unhappy with some announcements from Star Wars. A lot of people are happy. We got some Marvel stuff. We got some DC stuff. Major Hellboy news. We got a whole bunch of other stuff. Liam Neeson's in there today.
What?
We're going to talk about Liam Neeson.
Where do we start, Troy?
I say we start with Star Wars, man.
Okay. Let's get the big one out of the way.
Let's get the big one out of the way. And the first part of the Star Wars news is that Lucasfilm have announced that Star Wars The Force Awakens director J.J. Abrams will write and direct Episode 9 in place of the recently fired Colin Trevorrow. Now, they really only had two ways to go. It was either going to be J.J. Abrams or Rian Johnson, realistically. I was leaning more towards Rian Johnson, but no, they went J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, it surprises me how much hate there is for this. Genuinely.
Yeah, man, look, I don't care what you say, you personally.
Okay.
But I love The Force Awakens.
Yeah, I thought it was fucking amazing.
Look, it's, and I understand that there are a lot of similarities to A New Hope and all that sort of stuff, but that's kind of the point. I've spoken about it a million times. It's you got to bridge the gap of generations, people that haven't necessarily been as into it as others. So it has to be familiar. It has to cross that familiar territory. I think it was a great movie. I think J.J. Abrams did a fantastic job. I like J.J. Abrams' Star Trek as well.
Exactly. Do you think that's where the hate's coming from? He's jumping genres?
Well, no. I feel like it's genuinely because a lot of people didn't really like The Force Awakens that much.
I would like to know why people didn't like it. And I want to know their reasons. They just can't say because it was like the other movie. Because you could almost fucking say that about any Star Wars movie.
Yeah, look, I think, well, hey, if you're out there and you're a Force Awakens hater, which is fine.
That's fine. That's cool. You can hate what you want to hate.
Let us know why, though. We'd be very interested to know why.
Hit us up on Twitter at ComicConPod.
Yeah, is it J.J. Abrams? Is that the reason? But I'm happy with this, man. I think this is the best possible choice aside from Rian Johnson, purely because he's had a successful movie.
Yeah, exactly.
This movie is the highest domestic grossing movie of all time. and the number 3 worldwide. So like
the stats say he's good, mate.
Yeah, and I know there was like a lot of nostalgia for it and all that sort of stuff, and all that sort of stuff. But you can't deny that J.J. Abrams makes a solid movie.
That's right,
and it's in the right hands, I think.
I think so. I think it's going to be fantastic. Like you said, we both love The Force Awakens.
Yep.
I think this is going to be amazing too. Why hasn't there been so much hate about the porgs? Like honestly, this is 100% a marketing ploy by Star Wars.
Yeah.
To just push out some like fluffy little characters and just make a couple of $1 billion in like marketing and toy sales.
These are the 2017 Ewoks for sure.
Surely.
Why not just bring Ewoks back? They still exist, I would assume. Like, it's not like their planet has been destroyed or anything. You could totally... I'd like to see 2017 Ewoks and see what they look like. But if you're not going to do Ewoks, you're going to do Porgs. You're going to do these little, like... what are they called? Penguin-looking... big-eyed penguins. Japanese penguins, I'm going to call them. Anime penguins.
You know what? I think we should get Steele back on the show.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the most qualified person to ask about this type of stuff.
100%. But this was the same thing. Like, there was a lot of hate towards BB-8 as well prior to The Force Awakens. Once everybody saw The Force Awakens, they're like, I fucking love that little droid. But before that, they were all like, oh my God, this is just, it's a marketing ploy. It's the updated version of R2-D2, and they're just trying to like get us to fucking buy toys and shit.
And then everyone else went out and bought those toys.
Yeah, well, 100%. But they also fell in love with BB-8, that beautiful little droid who's making a comeback in The Last Jedi.
Wonderful news.
Indeed. On top of that, though, they have also announced that the new release date for Episode 9 is going to move from May the 24th, 2019 to December 20th, 2019.
Claimed as the biggest dick move ever.
Yeah, because this is well, look, you can say it's a dick move because this is kind of like Disney basically pulling out its big Disney dick and going, hey, look at us. We got J.J. Abrams back. We're going to now go head to head with Wonder Woman 2 because that's set for release on December the 13th, 2019. So is it that? Does it make more sense for it? Because, now, like, you've got a new director, you've got a new writer. Like, you're pushing it back 7 months. That kind of makes sense. And December has kind of been known as Star Wars month for, like, the longest time now. So you could say dick move, but it kind of also makes sense.
It totally makes sense. You got the new director. You're going to get a new script. This stuff takes time. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Exactly. And you've got to think, like, this is a new person's take on... like how they're going to handle closing off this new trilogy and what they're going to do with, finalizing the story with Carrie Fisher and all that sort of stuff. So there's a lot at stake. I think it makes sense to give them more time. Pushing it up against Wonder Woman 2, though, is worrying for Wonder Woman 2.
You know what? I don't think it's really going to matter.
Really?
Because I think the fans are going to win. It's
look,
good movie season.
Oh, at the end of the day, I mean... There's Wonder Woman 2, there's Star Wars Episode 9, there's the Mary Poppins movie, like, I think there's like Frozen 2 as well.
That's just
We're
Disney
all winning.
month.
It's all Disney.
Yeah.
Disney's making all the money. Look, is it a dick move? Yeah, probably.
But it's a smart move, and it's going to be better for everyone.
Exactly. Let's move into some Marvel news, man. I want to talk about Spider-Man Homecoming for a second. Remember that movie that came out, Spider-Man Homecoming, that no one's really been talking about for a while?
Yeah.
Just opened in China not that long ago to $23 million, which has since moved to $70 million. And it's now led the movie to surpass Wonder Woman's worldwide run, as it now sits at $823 million worldwide. And it also puts it as the second highest grossing Spider-Man film to date, behind Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. What do you think about that?
I don't know where to start. I feel like the craziest part of news there is that Spider-Man 3 is the most successful Spider-Man movie.
Well, I mean, it was always going to be because Spider-Man 2 is the most beloved. So I think people were very much like, holy shit, what are they going to do? And they knew Venom was coming. That, and the other. Like, there were so many reasons to think Spider-Man 3 was going to be amazing.
You know what? I'm a fan of it.
I don't mind it.
There's just little bits of it that are a little bit shit, but you can't ever have a perfect movie. Not every movie out there is Forrest Gump.
I was going to say exactly, and then I realized what you said. Forrest Gump's a piece of shit.
Wow.
I've said it many times before. Look, Spider-Man 3, it could have done without emo Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, that's the only letdown of that movie.
But it also, like, it's the only thing we still talk about all this time later. So, $23 million in China, like, at such a late opening. Like, I genuinely thought this, like, for a second, I thought this movie was done already.
Yeah, so did I.
I thought it had made its money, and then all of a sudden it's like, no, opens in China, now surpasses Wonder Woman. It's like one of the highest grossing films of the last 365 days. I think it's like number 4 or something like that now, number 3 even. So it's crazy. Came out of nowhere.
That's crazy. That's great. That's good for movies everywhere.
Well, it does. Look, I mean, you know, this is a movie that kind of people were kind of like, yeah, it's good, but, you know, kind of we've seen enough. But
yeah.
obviously.
Well, for the third reboot in, 10 years?
17 years.
17 years.
Yeah.
That is pretty bloody good.
It's not bad, man. More box office news, though. Thor Ragnarok is expected to have $100 million plus opening weekend. And that's going to put it as the highest opening movie within the Thor franchise, as it looks to surpass the $85 million opener of The Dark World.
How did The Dark World get $85 million as an opening weekend? Well, let's be honest.
Well, because it was Thor 2, right? But what it also suffered was a massive second week drop-off.
Of 90%?
When people realized how shitty it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it ended its run with like $220 million. So like to pull out $85 million in your first weekend, and then only pull out $220 million, that's crazy.
That's rough. Look, I'm not surprised. I think this will get $120 million opening weekend. It's got some hype around it.
There's massive hype around this movie. I'm hyped for this movie. I think it's going to be amazing.
And I think when you chuck Hulk into any movie, people are dying for a Hulk movie. So that's just instant cash money, baby.
That's right.
When you throw him in any movie as a supporting character.
This is going to be the closest we're going to get to a Hulk movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like a standalone Hulk movie. I honestly don't think we're going to get another one in the Mark Ruffalo era.
Well, we can't because the rights are still with Universal for a solo movie.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know how that works, but, you know,
I'm so
whatever.
sick of talking about studio rights and who owns who and all this sort of stuff. Just fucking work together, make a shit ton of money, because we'll buy it.
Yeah,
I'll fucking buy
Absolutely.
it. I'll buy it all. Like,
but I'm one of those people who would be in the boat of, I reckon a Hulk movie would be like a bit crappy on its own.
You reckon?
Yeah, it's hard to tell a story just about a rage machine.
Well, I didn't mind the Incredible Hulk, like the one with Edward Norton.
That was good.
Like, I disliked the villain in Abomination. Like, I didn't really like the way it was handled, and I didn't really like the final fight scene. But everything else outside of that I thought was really good. I thought Edward Norton did a really good job. I'm surprised he didn't come back. I think it was his choice to not come back.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what a waste.
Yeah, so I think he decided to take on another project, and that's when they eventually went to Mark Ruffalo instead.
Instant regret.
Maybe
not.
It's he's missing out on that massive Disney money.
Yeah, correct.
I don't think Edward Norton really cares, though. I think Edward Norton's probably pretty well set up for the time being.
Yeah.
Marvel and Netflix have released the first official synopsis for its upcoming series, The Punisher. The synopsis is as follows. In Marvel's The Punisher, after exacting revenge on those responsible for the death of his wife and children, Frank Castle, John Bernthal, uncovers a conspiracy that runs far deeper than New York's criminal underworld. Now known throughout the city as the Punisher, he must discover the truth about injustices that affect more than his family alone. Now, there's no official word for a release day yet. We know the date. It's 2017. It's probably going to be November. Still no official day. I don't know why they haven't announced this yet.
I've heard like rumors saying it's going to be released, and I don't know what date this is because I'm not in this, I guess, culture.
Yeah.
But it's the Marines' like birthday.
Okay.
Like the actual Marine Corps.
Right.
When it was, I guess, made. I don't know if that's the right word.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be released on the Marine Corps birthday because he was a Marine Corps.
Well, imagine for a second that you just did a little bit more research
and actually found that out.
And you found out what that fucking day was.
and then we could let everybody know. Look, if you just simply just put in Marine Corps birthday, that's the day this will come out.
Right. Look, we do know it is definitely 2017. It is getting towards the end of the year. It is in November. I believe early at some point. I think they will release like an actual date soon. I'm excited for this, man. Like this, everything that I've seen so far, and I've tried to stay away from a little bit. Like I don't want to see every like behind the scenes shot and like all that sort of stuff, but I have been watching like a couple of the teasers they throw up and stuff like that. I'm very much excited for this, man. And it sounds like based on this synopsis that they're heading in the right direction, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait.
I cannot wait either. We've still got a lot of good stuff to get through like the rest of this year. It's like September. It's like mid-September. And
we haven't even reached the good shit yet.
Yeah, in the last 3.5 months. We've got so much good shit to go. I'd label it off, but I'll probably get a bonus, so I'll probably just leave that alone. Moving on to some DC news. Variety has reported that Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins has officially closed a deal with Warner Brothers to return to helm the sequel, scheduled, as I said earlier, for release December 13th, 2019. Other than It's About Time, what do you think about this?
She's back, baby.
She's back, baby.
It's good news.
Oh, it's only good news. This is something that, it's one of those things where you kind of go like, why wasn't this just signed straight away?
I know. I feel like it's almost ridiculous that we are talking about it.
Yeah, but I think this is more Patty Jenkins than Warner Brothers. Like, I think this is Patty Jenkins kind of like, using the power she now has to get herself a good deal.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as we've spoken about before on the show, this is a deal that could lead her to become the highest paid female director. I've heard things of upwards of like $7 to $8 million, like for this picture, which is a massive increase on what she would have gotten for the first.
Well,
movie.
yeah, you said it was about $50,000,
roughly. Like don't quote me necessarily.
That's going to go on a DVD cover.
Yeah, don't go telling all your friends on the internet that Troy from Comic Confidential said this exact figure, because I'm probably wrong. But for the most part, it is around that type of money, but now she's going to get exactly what she's worth. I think it's great, man. I think, like this is the absolute best case scenario, and I'm really looking forward to this potentially like more modern setting, but not modern. Like we're talking like 1980s-ish.
Hey, man, as long as it ain't medieval, I'm all for this.
As long as it's not Wonder Woman takes on Game of Thrones, like you're happy.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Just imagine that for a second.
No, that would be fucking terrible, mate.
Wonder Woman in Game. What else do you hate? Westerns?
Yeah, Westerns. Anything set before the 1950s.
Anything from before I was born does not exist in my eyes.
Yeah. If the movie has something that I cannot instantly relate to, like, yep, I've seen that car, I know what that is. It's just shit to me.
I'm sorry, but you will happily accept futuristic movies about shit that you haven't even seen ever in your life.
Yeah.
Because they don't exist yet.
Yeah.
You'll take that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
That's great. A little bit more DC news. The live-action Teen Titans series has added Blue Mountain State star Alan Ritchson, and Friday Night Lights star Minka Kelly as the superhero duo Hawk and Dove, or Hank Hall and Dawn Granger, in this particular iteration.
Troy, let's transform. Do you know how they do it?
How?
Hawk.
Dove.
And that's it. It's quite amazing.
It's pretty exciting. It's exciting to see Alan Ritchson back.
Hell yeah, that guy is genuinely hilarious, jacked, and the most good-looking man I've ever laid my eyes on.
He's right up there. This is the guy that we were all hoping would be Shazam.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's probably not going to pan out. It's definitely going to be John Cena.
Absolutely.
But I think with him, like we've seen him play Aquaman before on Smallville, right? He was Aquaman on Smallville, wasn't
Correct.
he? Yeah, that's right. So he's been a superhero before. He's not like adverse to the whole thing. I think he's great. He's got a lot of on-screen presence and charisma and all that sort of stuff. I think it's, I'll be 100% honest with you. I am not the biggest Hawk and Dove expert.
I don't think anyone is.
But there are a lot of people who are running to Google to kind of go to Google Hawk and Dove and check out the Wikipedia page and find out what they're all about. From what I do know, they are like, yes, they're secondary characters, and yes, they do say Hawk and Dove, and that's kind of how they transform. How they get their powers and whatnot. But I think it's cool, man. Minka Kelly is probably one of the most beautiful women to grace this earth. I'm just throwing it out there.
You're not wrong.
She is amazing. I'd watch her in anything. I'd watch her wearing anything. I don't want to make it creepy.
Yeah, you're getting creepy.
But I do love me some Minka Kelly. Is she a good actress? I loved her in Friday Night Lights. I haven't really seen anything else that she's done. She's done a couple of like movies.
But you're a big Friday Night Lights fan.
I'm a massive Friday Night Lights fan, man. And I loved her in that. I think she was great. So, man, this is the perfect duo. This is great. And this is coming to the Teen Titans show. I'm excited.
Bring it on.
Now, I've got some Hellboy news. This is exciting. Because the Hellboy reboot has given us our first official look at star David Harbour as the titular horned hero Hellboy. Did you see these pictures?
Yes, I did.
Please tell me you saw these pictures.
And I love it. He looks a lot less plasticky from the previous Hellboy.
Yeah, look, there are a lot of people that are saying he looks just like Ron Perlman. And in the first image that they released, yes, in the face, there are some similarities to Ron Perlman. But if you actually put the images side by side,
it's chalk and cheese.
It is chalk and cheese, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely.
This thing looks absolutely amazing.
How jacked is he?
He is jacked as... I
don't even think it's fake jacked.
Nah,
I think they've just painted him red.
No, man. If you unless David Harbour went through some like magic fucking, like transformation...
Hollywood baby.
Hollywood baby. Like, you can make it happen, but like this dude's gone from like soft in Stranger Things.
Yeah, can you imagine him in Stranger Things this jacked?
This jacked, yeah, it'd be fucking ridiculous. But
he would look like a stripper cop. Things just got a whole lot stranger.
In a sexy way though.
Yeah.
He looks amazing. I'm going to say that. I am very, very, very happy with the way he looks. And in the second image that he released himself on his Twitter. This was like a black and white image of Hellboy with the overcoat and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Looks completely different to Ron Perlman's version. I am so keen for this, man. I cannot wait. And it's R-rated as well, don't forget.
Oh, damn.
So that's going to be so good. I do have a little bit of other Hellboy news, and that's the fact that Daniel Day Kim from Lost and Hawaii Five-0 has officially been cast as Major Ben Daimio in the reboot and has praised previously cast actor Ed Skrein for his strength of character in stepping down due to the whitewashing controversy.
This guy needed this.
He did.
I have not heard of this guy in about 10 years.
No, look, seriously. Daniel Day Kim is from Lost, as you probably know, but also Hawaii Five-0, and he's been on Hawaii Five-0 since the start. So he has had a fairly successful career for the last decade easily. And he's only just come off Hawaii Five-0 as well, I believe. So... he's been doing a lot of things. He's quite popular. It's unfortunate that he had to get this role, after all of the shit that happened initially. Like, it took Ed Skrein kind of stepping down.
Of course.
For the studio to go, oh, yeah, you're right. Maybe we should get an Asian
Maybe
actor.
we shouldn't be racist.
Yeah, Hollywood and all that. So you'd have to feel a little bit of kind of like, it's like, well, you're kind of like, you're a winner by default.
Yeah.
Really, aren't you? Because if Ed Skrein had have turned around and said, nah, I don't really care, you wouldn't have this part. So, I think that's kind of why, he's coming out and he's sort of saying, thank you for what you've done. Like, that's
he's very humble.
Yeah, he is, 100%.
Absolutely.
I got some other things that I want to, bang out real quick.
Real quick.
One of them is that Andy Muschietti's adaptation of the Stephen King novel It has broken all sorts of records upon its opening with a $123 million opening weekend, which is the highest all-time for a horror movie by far. I'm talking like more than double.
I was going to say, I reckon by 50%.
Yep. It's the biggest September opening of all time and just $10 million shy of Deadpool's highest R-rated opening ever. It's got a total worldwide gross in its first week of $220 million roughly on a $35 million budget.
Holy shit.
This movie is breaking records.
Technically, this would have beaten Deadpool in percentages.
Well, it would have beaten Deadpool save for hurricanes.
Yeah.
If the US wasn't hit by the hurricanes that they had, then this would have definitely have probably taken that extra 10 million easily.
Have you seen this movie?
I haven't yet. But you have.
You got to go out and see it. It is Like, it's terrifying. It's genuinely hilarious. It might be one of the funniest movies I've seen all year, which is like the weirdest thing to say about like this R-rated horror.
But I've heard the kids are great.
The kids are great.
Yeah.
They're so good.
Look,
This is like Stranger Things turned up to 20, plus a whole bunch of scary shit thrown in there.
Yeah, right, man.
If you love Stranger Things, you will like just cream your pants about this movie.
Yeah, man. I am keen to see it. I haven't had a chance to get out and see it, but like with all this hype and all this, this money that it's making, and the fact that they're already saying, "Yep, sequel's done. Like, let's do it. Like, it's happening." I am keen. I'm keen as a bean to go and see this movie, but I just had to mention it because that is some bullshit money.
Yeah,
that's some goddamn bullshit money. Lionsgate have announced the release date for John Wick 3, and that's going to be May 17, 2019, putting it right in the summer blockbuster season. Fuck yeah.
I've got to go see 1 and 2, baby.
What?
Yep.
Oh, fuck off.
Not for real.
Fuck off. How are we friends?
I don't know.
How am I best man at your wedding?
I don't know.
What is...
I think
if I had have
fate
known
has
this,
just done this to us.
I wouldn't have taken it. I would have politely declined. Okay. Please do me a favor. As soon as you possibly can, go out and see John Wick 1 and John Wick 2. John Wick 1 is 100% definitely available on Netflix. John Wick 2 is available on iTunes at least.
On Magic.
It's also available on Magic, but don't Magic it. Support it. John Wick 3, man, I am so excited for this. I know the people listening out there are going to be excited for this because, unlike you, they have actually seen it because,
Well,
they're
good
smart.
on them, Troy.
I'm so pumped. I can't wait for this trilogy to be fulfilled. I think it's going to be amazing. Last little bit, we have to talk about this. Liam Neeson has announced his retirement from action movies.
Wow.
Yep. He's officially called it quits. He said his career as an action star was pure fluke, and basically his reasoning is because he's 65.
Is this movie called Taken a Break?
Hey, I like that. Look, it might be, but he's done. He is done.
He's taken the piss, man.
Look, he's got 2 movies coming out that are classified as action movies. They're already done, though. He has said beyond that, that's it. He's basically said it's going to get ridiculous. It's going to get to a point where people are just like, fuck off. Like, it's
at least he knows.
Yeah. It's like, just because I'm Liam Neeson and I have apparently, the world's biggest dick, because that's a true story, true fact about Liam Neeson, you guys.
Yeah, of course.
If you didn't know that. It doesn't mean I can be a 65-year-old action star anymore.
I feel like he's going to be the new Robert De Niro and just do these family comedy movies now.
Maybe. He's a pretty good actor, though.
He's a great actor, but he's going to be that like hard as nails stepdad or like, father-in-law.
Yeah, definitely. It's basically the PG version of Taken.
Yeah.
Like, he's not going to actually like kill you if you touch his daughter, but he's going to like stare at you angrily from across the room, like a crotchety old man. I like it. So for this week's show, we decided, hey, superhero movies get a hell of a lot of love from us here at Comic Confidential.
Oh, they sure do.
They sure do. It's kind of what we're all about.
Yeah.
But what about their animated counterparts? Animated superhero movies, whether Marvel, DC, or any other studio, have given us some fantastic stories. So we're going to celebrate the best of the best in this, our best ever animated superhero movies segment. Now, don't forget, because we'd likely butcher it, and we wouldn't do it any justice, we won't be talking about anime, so I do apologize in advance. But
we refuse.
You guys do not want us talking about anime at all.
It'd just be like, oh, how weird was that? I don't get why that's happening.
Yeah.
What are they doing over here?
Why can't all anime just be Dragon Ball Z?
Why aren't they screaming?
Why aren't their hands pointed at the sky and they're screaming for half an episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sort of thing. What do you want to talk about first, man? What are some of your favorites? Pick one.
Okay. I'm not going to go to my number one.
No.
I've spoken about my number one 1,000 times.
Oh, well, I know what your number one is already.
I think
trust me.
Everyone knows. Look, I'm going to start it off with something a little bit different because we're talking animated movies here, right?
Animated superhero movies.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going to go with like something that's like completely left field. No one's thinking of it. The Incredibles, mate.
Everybody is thinking of The Incredibles.
No one's thinking The Incredibles, mate.
This would dead set be my number one. Or
really?
Close to, yeah.
Ooh.
For sure. I fucking love this movie.
This really is the best, like, Fantastic Four movie that we never got.
100%. The fact that they're making us wait 14 fucking years for the sequel is pretty insane, but I will take it. I will wait, and I will happily devour it all, and they will get all my money when it comes out.
Now, Troy, when we go see this movie, because we're going to go see it, we
100%.
will review it.
Of course.
Now, I need you. This isn't a want. This is a need. I need you to wear your Incredibles outfit to this movie.
My Mr. Incredible outfit.
Yeah.
Okay, I will do that. I will do that 100%, and we'll put pictures up all over our social media. That's going to happen. You guys don't want to see it, but it's going to happen anyway. We'll 100% do that. You cannot talk about favorite animated superhero movies without talking about this movie. It is perfect. The dynamic between the family is amazing. Then you finally get little Jack getting his powers towards the end.
Iceman.
All of it. I love it. Frozone is his name.
Oh, Frozone?
Yeah.
A great name.
Yeah, but Samuel L. Jackson, man.
Yeah.
It's like this movie is like for the last 13 years. For the last 13 years of my life has been one of the most quotable animated superhero movies of all time. I think it's amazing. I put it right up there. I don't necessarily just put it right up there as my favorite animated movie of all time. I would put it up there. I reckon this would probably make my top 10 favorite movies of all time.
Wow.
That's a big call.
That's a very big call.
I don't know where in the top 10 it would fall because that is such a fucking like hard subject to, the day I have to actually get my top 10 favorite movies of all time, which could be something that we might be doing, for like episode 100. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows?
The Megapod episode.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. But I like that. The Incredibles. That's good. My turn?
Your turn, mate.
All right. One that I want to talk about is 2012's Justice League Doom. I do really like this.
Oh, Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage and the Legion of Doom, if you want to call them that, they take down each individual member of the Justice League, and it's up to Batman and Cyborg technically. But it's all Batman, let's be honest.
Any animated DC movie is always all Batman.
Yeah, pretty much. It's either Batman and a little bit of Superman and a little bit of Wonder Woman, or it's all Batman.
Yeah.
But I love this, man. I think this is cool. I like the way that, they kind of Vandal Savage uses Batman's contingency plans against each member. And it's like,
awesome.
It's kind of cool how they do each one. So you've got like, basically with, I think it was Cheetah and Wonder Woman, it's kind of like every single person that's around Wonder Woman kind of sees as Cheetah because she's scratched with this thing, and it like puts
toxin.
nanobots or whatever into her system, and she believes that everything she sees is Cheetah, and works to the point where she almost gives herself a heart attack and stuff like that. I think it's so cool.
What I love most about this is like this was probably one of the first looks at the Legion of Doom, like I guess lair.
Their base.
Yeah, their base that like most people got, how it kind of comes out of the swamplands.
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
Looks like a giant jellyfish head.
Yeah.
I love it. I can't really say too much more about it. I don't want to spoil anything. In case there are people out there that haven't seen it, this isn't really a spoilers episode. But go see Justice League Doom. Definitely up there as one of my favorites. What do you got, man?
Okay, I'm gonna switch over, mate. I'm going to Marvel.
Damn,
son. Damn, Judi Dench. I'm going with Planet Hulk.
Oh yeah, Planet Hulk. 2010,
a little bit off from what the comics were,
and a little bit softer,
a lot softer,
because it
has to be
technically a kid's movie.
It's an animated movie, mate. And that's probably the only downfall of this movie is the sense that it was just a little bit too PG.
Yeah,
when it really needed to be an MA,
hard R, just a hard R.
Yeah,
triple X.
Yeah. Hulk's cock out everywhere.
Yep. Yeah, that's what the kids want to see. Yeah, I like this too, man. I didn't mind this movie at all.
And I do believe, just from memory, that they swapped out the Silver Surfer in this for Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah, I think so.
It
has been a while since I've seen it. I'll give you that.
Which is, it's quite different from what happens in the comics, because what happens in the comics is it's Silver Surfer, not Beta Ray Bill, but both extremely powerful characters.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I think it's going to you're going to see a lot of similarities between what you would see in Planet Hulk, the animated movie.
Yes.
And what you're going to see in Thor Ragnarok.
I think so.
So, it's kind of like a little bit of a precursor. Yeah, man, that's a good choice. I like that.
Thanks.
I like that. You've done well. Next one I want to talk about is The Dark Knight Returns.
Oh, how can you not talk about this?
How can you not talk about this? Part 1 and Part 2. This is the animated adaptation of the Frank Miller graphic novel, obviously.
And almost animated in the same way that it was drawn,
Yeah.
which was fantastic.
This, when you talk about DC movies, this gets right up there as probably one of my all-time favorite DC animated movies.
Definitely.
If it's not number 1, it's in the top 3. I'll give it that. This is good, man. Like everything about it, like the story itself, like is just done so well. And even like old man Bruce Wayne, portrayed by Peter Weller, like the whole thing, that's like RoboCop portraying Batman. What the fuck is that? It's pure awesomeness. That's what it is.
That's classic.
It's amazing.
Classic 80s.
And it gives you everything. It doesn't hold back. I don't believe, like, obviously this wasn't an R-rated one or anything like that, like The Killing Joke, which will probably not get a mention on today's show.
Oh, hell no.
But it was,
We are talking about best, aren't we?
Well, yeah. Just best. No worse today. But yeah, this is, like, it didn't hold back. Like, it still gave you everything that the graphic novel gave you. And I really appreciated that.
Absolutely. And, like, there's words, like, there's actual scenes in this animated movie taken straight out of the comic.
Yeah, like,
which is amazing.
Especially when you look at the final fight. And I'm going to spoil this one because, look...
If you haven't seen this, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, if you haven't seen it, like, what the fuck are you doing? But if you haven't read the graphic novel, what the fuck are you doing? But this is, when it comes down to the final fight scene between Batman and Superman, it's like, you're right, like... Basically, words are lifted straight from the pages and put into these characters'
And you've
mouths.
even got, like, the sharp lines. It's just really great from the artwork.
Yeah, 100%.
So good.
I highly rate The Dark Knight Returns. If you haven't seen this, man, what the fuck? Go and see it. Your choice. What do you got?
I am going to go with Justice League War.
Okay.
Not on the list that we've got.
Well, yeah, I just put this together.
And it's what I like about this is it's almost like it's a younger version of the Justice League. Like it's like a reboot.
Yeah.
On the Justice League movies in the animated sense.
I'm going to be completely honest with you.
Don't like it?
I have not seen it.
Oh, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh, you got to see this, mate. It's really good. It's about Darkseid coming to invade the Earth.
Yeah.
But all our heroes don't know each other.
Oh, no, I have seen it. And this is kind of where they first get together.
Yeah.
It's got Shazam in it as well.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, I have seen this.
And what I really love about this is
this Batman plays a big part in this one, doesn't he?
Of course he does. But what I love about this is the Green Lantern kind of takes a front row, I guess, as a comedic role in this series.
Yeah.
And he kind of like says to Batman, like, what are your powers? Like, do you have any of this, any of this, any of this? And of course, Batman doesn't. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah.
And Hal Jordan kind of goes, you're not just a guy in a suit, are you? And like, you actually see Batman like turn around, give a little smirk, like, yeah, I am, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then he actually steals his Green Lantern ring.
I have totally seen this. Yeah, this is good. And then it's kind of like you see Hal Jordan go head to head with Thanos, and just kind of
Thanos.
Darkseid, and
get pummeled.
Just get absolutely pummeled
by some parademons.
Yeah.
And what I like about this is we kind of see a Superman that we've never really seen before. He's real cocky. He knows he's the shit.
Yeah.
And like he doesn't need these other people.
Yeah. I like it. That's a good call, man.
The only thing is Wonder Woman does take a big like backseat in this movie, I feel.
Yeah, which, as powerful as Wonder Woman is, and as powerful as Wonder Woman is portrayed in these these animated movies, like she should be front and center.
Absolutely.
But it kind of basically all comes down to a little bit of Batman and Cyborg once again kind of saving the day.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the duo. Maybe
I think it is.
It's up to those two to save the day all the time. I'm going to go recent.
Okay.
Right. And I don't know how you guys listening out there feel about this one yet, because it is only recent. Justice League Dark.
I haven't seen it.
Really?
I haven't seen it yet.
Man. I really enjoyed this. And I don't know if it was kind of more because we got Maddie Ryan back as Constantine and all that sort of stuff, but like I really enjoyed this movie.
Is Batman in this one?
Yes.
Yeah.
yeah. Batman is in this movie,
How does
surprisingly.
Batman go against fighting magic?
Believe it or not, he does pretty well for himself.
Of course he fucking does.
Look, if you're going to... Look, I know why they do it. If you're going to pick a character from the Justice League that you want to kind of like sell your movie on...
It's Batman.
It's going to be Batman. So if you're going to have a Justice League Dark movie based around characters that people might not know that well... Like, when you're talking about Constantine and Zatanna and Swamp Thing and Deadman and all that sort of stuff, you probably kind of need to put a big name in there. So they went with Batman, and they went with Jason O'Mara's Batman again.
Oh, wow.
So the Patriot.
How much has he been saying, like, how good he'll make as a live-action Batman?
No, that's Kevin Conroy.
Oh, no, I'm making a joke, man.
Oh, sorry. I'm with you. Yeah, true. Look... I really, actually, I kind of like Jason O'Mara's Batman. This is necessary. We're not talking about Batman here, but I actually don't mind it at all. But I really did enjoy this movie. I thought it was actually, great story from start to finish. Please let me know what you guys think. I know it's only new, and when we're talking about best of all time, it's kind of, a bit hard to, sort of say that. But I really enjoyed it. I'd want to see another one, for sure.
Yeah.
I still want a live-action one. Don't fuck with me on that one. I still want my goddamn live-action Justice League Dark movie. But I will take that in the meantime.
Definitely.
What's yours?
As much shit as we have been talking about this character, this is going to be Batman Under the Red Hood.
Okay.
Now, what I like about this is that this story isn't as much about Batman as it is Jason Todd.
Yeah.
And this is really good. I feel like this, if you're going to do cosplay and you don't do the Red Hood, why do you cosplay?
Yeah. Did you ever really cosplay?
Yeah.
If you never did the Red Hood?
Because this guy is just it's just the most badass outfit I've ever seen.
Now, I don't know if I'm going to get the duo right, but this is a very weird... it's a very weird Batman and a very weird, Jason Todd.
Yes.
It's Jensen Ackles and Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
And one of them is Batman.
I
and
think
the
it's
other
Neil
one
Patrick Harris is the Batman.
I am pretty sure you're right. And that is fucking bizarre when you think about it.
He does a lot of voice acting.
He does a lot of voice acting, but he's also kind of has a really distinctive voice.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure Jensen Ackles is the Red Hood. So that would make Neil Patrick Harris's Batman, which is insane. And look, I did throw the question out there on Facebook and all that sort of thing on the social medias.
Oh.
And this one came up a shit ton. People love this movie, man, and I don't blame them. I like it as well. And it's not so much the action or anything like that, but it's actually the relationship between Batman and Jason Todd and how they kind of overcome everything and sort of come together in the end and all that sort of stuff like that people like so much. Oh, that I liked about it anyway.
Yeah, that's that. I love that whole coming together story, having your differences, having your fights, but then at the end of the day,
just
you're still
loving
bros.
each other. Yeah, you're just broing.
Yeah.
Just broing out with each other. I like it. I really do. I think it's also right up there. This would be my top 5 all-time DC movies.
Yep.
Probably a little bit higher, maybe. But I'm going to go away from this all for a sec. I want to talk about a movie from 2010 called Megamind.
Oh.
Have you seen this?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So it's got basically...
But I am aware.
Yeah. So it's got Will Ferrell as Megamind. Then it's got Tina Fey is in it as well. It's got a pretty balls cast. It's got David Cross. It's got Brad Pitt. And it's effectively a bad guy who kind of realizes that being a bad guy ain't all that good once he's gotten rid of the good guy, and then he sort of decides to create another good guy, and then in turn creates a bad guy, and then himself becomes a good guy, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
That's the most confusing thing I've ever fucking heard in my life.
Basically, long story short, it's basically Megamind starts off bad, becomes good, and all is well. I really like this movie. It's funny in parts. It's touching in others. But it's got great voice acting. And that's what I really enjoy about it. I think, when you're looking at people some of my favorite comedians, when you're talking about Will Ferrell and David Cross and Tina Fey especially, it just all comes across really well. So if you haven't seen Megamind, go out and check it out, because I do recommend it for sure.
How are we going for time?
I think we're going all right. We can do a couple more.
Couple more. All right. I'm gonna throw to my number one.
Oh, you're going number one already?
I'm going number one because
okay,
I just can't keep it in anymore. Justice League, the Flashpoint Paradox.
Of course it is. Goddamn you! We all knew this was coming at some point.
It's no surprise.
Look, this would be right up there for me as well. I've said that about a lot now.
Yeah, you have. Like, your top... I think you are naming your top 10 with these movies.
Maybe.
Look, the Flashpoint Paradox is one of the most world-opening storylines that we've seen from the DC animated universe, I guess.
Not the DCU, buddy.
No,
It's
so difficult.
That's coming, apparently.
What's that?
Remember, the Flash movie is now becoming Flashpoint,
That's
so it could be
right.
this whole thing. You don't know.
What's your opinion on this movie, Troy?
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great. This is one of those movies that is very, very hard to do as a live action. So if you're going to do it as anything, like, you may as well do it as an animated, because
Absolutely.
there are no boundaries. You can go as crazy as you want, and they do, and they show you everything. And I really like that.
How do you think this would actually transfer to a live action movie? Like, what part do you think they could do the whole storyline of the Amazonians going up against the Atlanteans?
Oh, man,
and then we have like the Batman's dad becoming the Batman and his mum becoming the Joker.
Spoilers, by the way, everyone.
If you have not seen this movie, what is wrong with you? When did it come out? 2011?
This movie has been out
13.
for a while, yeah, 2013. Yeah, look, I think it would be hard, man, and that's the thing. Like, you know, when Warner Brothers announced that the Flash movie was going to be called Flashpoint, that's kind of where people were like freaking out, like kind of going, how are they going to do that? Is it going to be a standalone? Is it going to reset the whole universe? Like, what's going to happen? Blah blah blah.
This could be one of those movies that is standalone and just comes back in at the end.
Yeah. But see, it's also one of those movies that could legitimately reset the entire DCEU.
I don't think it will. I think we will see exactly what would happen in, I guess, the animated movie into the current day movie. And, man, can you imagine Jeffrey D. Morgan as Batman?
Shit, son. What I think they would do, though, is I think they would simplify it. I don't think you'd have the whole Amazonian Atlantean war.
I don't think you'd have that at all.
You know, all that sort of stuff. I don't know if you'd have the whole Superman story arc.
This would really become a Reverse Flash versus Flash movie with a little bit of, like, old man Batman.
Yeah, and, like, I've fucked with the timeline and,
Yeah.
you know, I need to get back before I destroy that other Earth completely sort of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that'd really simplify it, and if they did that, it would be cool. But ultimately, like, the reason why this movie is so good is because you have the Flash versus the Reverse Flash. And that's what everybody wants to see. I do. That's what I want to see in my movie, my Flash movie later.
And I just want to go on, like, a little bit of a tangent.
Sure.
How frustrating would it be to be the Flash, to go up against a Reverse Flash who is always faster because he just slows down everything else?
Yeah.
Like, you could be as fast as you want, but because how his powers work, he just slows you down, baby.
Yeah, I know.
You'd fucking want to shoot yourself.
It'd be frustrating, but not as frustrating as every single episode of your show saying, my name is Barry Allen, I'm the fastest man alive, but never actually being the fastest man alive.
Yeah.
So there is that.
That's like being the second fastest man in Jamaica.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
who are you? Nobody knows.
My name is not Usain Bolt, and I am not the fastest man alive. Basically, it's kind of what he should say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. This is one of the best, by far one of the best. One of the best, though, and I don't know if you've seen this, and I would like slap you around a little bit, but it has been a long time since I've seen this movie myself. But this is kind of the consensus best. Not necessarily my favorite of all time, but this is the consensus best, which is Batman Mask of the Phantasm.
I haven't seen this.
Oh. Now, like I said, I haven't seen it for a long time, but man, this is one of those things. This is one of the movies that you've kind of like really got to see. This kind of like carries on from the animated series.
Yeah, right.
Right. So this is kind of what, you know, like why this movie is so special in everybody's hearts. And it kind of really, like, apart from the series, like this is the first real kind of these new DC animated movies. And I say new, like when it's, you know, like how old is it? 24 years old? Something like that?
Damn.
Yeah, it's 24 years old. This is Kevin Conroy. So this is Kevin Conroy when, you know, he had just come off the series and he'd come into this movie. But it's not just that. It's the storytelling in this and everything. And the way that it's actually done, like the way it's drawn, It's kind of a little bit different, similar to the way the animated series was drawn also. But it kind of like just gives it a whole nother layer. And this is really like, if you haven't seen this movie, man, you have to go out and see this movie. Like, I know 24 years old sounds old, but it holds up well.
These movies do hold up very well.
They do hold up well, and I haven't seen it for probably, I'm going to say a good 5 to 6 years.
Yep.
So it has been some time. And realistically, if we weren't going through what we were going through this week with the lead up to, the wedding and all that sort of stuff, I would have tried to like squeeze it in again, purely for research purposes.
Yeah, right.
Not just because I love watching animated movies all the time. But this is one of those ones, man, it's an all-time favorite. Basically, every single person I asked on social media at some point came up with this movie.
Wow, there you go. I do have to get on board.
You do really have to get on board.
I reckon we have time for one more each.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. I'm going. This is very recent.
Okay.
Extremely recent, and this is the Lego Batman movie.
Nice. Now, I did consider not putting this on.
Wow.
Purely because, is it animated? Yes, it is. But is it?
It's 100% animated.
No, it's all made from real Lego.
Wow. Stop motion.
No, it's not. Of course, it's animated. I really like this movie. We spoke about this movie earlier in the year. I liked it, man.
It's amazing. Like, this really was one of the dark horses, I guess, for cinema this year.
Yeah.
In the sense of Australia got it about 3 months later than the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Which fucking boggles me.
Yeah.
But I mean, once we got it, we loved it.
Yeah,
we
for sure.
Genuinely loved this movie, and this might be one of the better superhero movies I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for the year. Even, I mean, like it could hold its own against things like Guardians of the Galaxy 2 and stuff like that.
Definitely, I would say I enjoy Guardians and this equally.
Yeah, right. Where would you put it in regards to Spider-Man: Homecoming?
That's.
Look, nothing touches Logan for me so far this year. And second, very, very close second to that, not a very close second, but a close second to that would be Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Look, that's really hard to split those three movies.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, they're all kind of like those comedy action movies that have that little superhero twist to it.
Yeah.
So that's a trifecta.
But that speaks volume to the fact that, this is an animated movie. Like, it is like, and that's how kind of like high we're putting it. Will Arnett absolutely kills it.
And you know what? That could just be like 90% of the thing is I love Will Arnett.
Oh, man. Will Arnett could read me a story.
He could read me anything.
He could read me
the TV guide.
He could read me the goddamn Family Circus cartoons from the paper that everyone hates. You know those ones?
Yeah.
Yeah. He could read me those and I'd get excited. I'm lying down now. For all of you playing at home, I am officially lying down.
Well, you do have to take advantage of the new recording space that isn't the studio where we have the chairs.
Yeah.
You do have to take advantage of these very miniature beds.
100%. So that's where I'm at right now. Lego Batman movie, yeah, man, by far. It should be right up there. Yes, it had a bit of a weak ending. You could say that for sure, but
that's what you get with these types of movies.
And
like, you're not going to get those like full on blockbuster, like leave it open type of ending. They're always pretty self-contained.
Yeah, true. Didn't really get into Zach Galifianakis' Joker that much, but I did really appreciate Michael Cera's Robin.
Yeah,
it was
amazing,
kind of hilarious. So the whole thing of Rosario Dawson's Batgirl as well. Batwoman.
Yeah, Batwoman.
Should have Batgirl. I don't know what. Did they even ever call her anything?
What's a politically correct version?
Barbara Gordon.
There you go.
I honestly don't remember what they called her in that. I would assume it would be Batgirl.
What's your last one, Troy?
My last one. I'm happy to finish on that.
Yeah?
Yeah, we can do a couple of like, if you want to do a couple of...
shotgun ones that we had on the list but didn't actually say?
Yeah, look, a couple that I would throw out there would be Justice League: The New Frontier, which is kind of like a throwback, really, to like the Golden Age.
Yeah.
It's probably why I didn't like it as much.
Yeah, right.
Just, not to say that I didn't get into the Golden Age of comics or anything like that.
No, you hate it.
Don't try to fight me. I'm not saying, Stan Lee shouldn't do cameos in in Marvel movies anymore. I've made that mistake once, but this was still pretty good. Another one would definitely be Big Hero 6.
Oh, yeah. I have not seen this, but a lot of people do love it.
Yeah. Now, that was a Disney movie based off a Marvel comic.
Crazy.
Is it? It's pretty normal. Actually, one other one that I'd talk about just very briefly is the Hulk versus movies. Where it's Hulk versus Wolverine, and then in the second part of it, it's Hulk versus Thor. Like, I thought that was pretty cool as well. You remember that one?
Yeah. And also had Deadpool in there.
Yeah, did it?
Yes.
Yes, it did. Yeah, for sure. I like that. I thought that was pretty cool as well. But look, when you talk about animated movies, like Marvel hasn't exactly done great things with them. And I don't know why.
It is weird. I don't... They do a lot of, I guess, TV shows, and that's where they kind of bank their money on.
Yeah, and their movies, obviously, as well.
And, look, if we're gonna be real, X-Men TV series.
Look.
No, you can't compare.
No. Look, we are doing an upcoming show that is going to be based around the best, animated
TV
series of all time.
That might be a very Marvel-centric episode.
Well, yeah, it could be. I think that's definitely going to get a mention for sure, because that's one of my all-time favorites. But that's about it, man. I'm happy to wrap it up there. Look, I think, when you're looking at it, yes, DC, quite heavy, but they do make some absolutely fantastic movies, man. You can't deny it.
That's right.
Batman makes a fantastic lead actor. And, yeah, he's bankable, isn't he?
Well, Troy, that's going to do it for another damn episode.
That's right. We're going to do listener questions first.
Of course we are. Before we wrap it up, we have to do the listener questions. It's what we do at the end of the show.
Every week. Now, the first question I have is from Cedric on Twitter. And he asks, what do you guys think of the positive reaction from critics to Marvel's Runaways on Hulu?
Interesting.
Yeah. I think it's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it only bodes well for for more of these shows to come along. And I mean, while we haven't seen it yet, we've just had the kind of critical shitstorm that was Inhumans. And that is not something that we as fans ever really want to see. Like, we want these things to be loved by everyone. And because we want more of them.
And that's exactly it. I mean, we have had a couple of shortfalls in let's say Luke Cage, Iron Fist, like you're saying, Inhumans. So it's really great news and really positive to have something that's new come into our, I guess, genre.
Yep.
And look like it might succeed.
Because we've got, so much other stuff coming as well. We've got, I can't even, I think we've spoken about this previously, but when you look at what's coming in 2018, there is so much stuff.
Yeah.
Even towards the back end of this year and stuff like that. It can only bode well for everything else. I mean, once, and I guess networks and, producers and creators of content and all that sort of stuff see these things getting positive reviews, more likely they are that they're going to turn around and they're going to go, fuck yeah, let's do that. Let's greenlight that project.
Yeah.
That thing that we've kind of been umming and ahhing about, let's do that. And I think that's what's important. So, as much as we always say, fuck a critic, which we do, we've been saying since the dawn of time, there are times when, you kind of need to understand the value that they do bring, with the power of their word. So that's how I'd answer that, I guess.
Deep. Real deep.
Real deep. We have a question from Sean. What character would you want next to join the Marvel Netflix series? He votes Moon Knight, Blade, and Sabretooth. What do you think?
I'm thinking, budget-wise,
yeah,
those would be fantastic. But those are all very much, they're like B-grade heroes.
Yeah.
I'm thinking C grade.
Okay.
And this is almost going to sound counter to what I'm actually trying to say here, but I'm thinking Hawkeye.
Right.
Because I think a Hawkeye Netflix series would work well.
Yep. I agree. I would say you would have to get Jeremy Renner.
And he's actually down for it. He said it multiple times already.
Yeah, but I also think he's kind of also said it's probably never going to happen.
Well, fuck him.
What? Fuck you, Jeremy Renner. What do you even know? I would agree with you. Like a Hawkeye series would be great, and I guess like I get what you're saying in the sense of for a movie like that, you wouldn't need such a strong, hefty budget to make that kind of thing happen because it's very kind of grounded, in the vein of sort of Daredevil and stuff like that. What I'm chasing, I'm looking for my goddamn bullseye.
Oh, yes.
And just give me some goddamn bullseye. If you're not going to give it to me in Daredevil 3, just give me a standalone series. Like, just in the, from the point of view of the villain.
How amazing would that be?
I don't know. Just give me bullseye, you goddamn sons of bitches. But I would also take a Moon Knight and a Blade. Don't know if a Sabretooth would really work without having a Wolverine. Like, I know you could do it, but yeah. That's where I'd kind of sit with that. What do you think?
Yeah, that would really be a hard one, in my opinion. A Sabretooth. Sabretooth is nothing without Wolverine.
Yeah. 2 more quick questions.
Okay.
All right, this one's from Mark. If you were given hundreds of millions of dollars to make a superhero movie, but could only pick from one of these 3 scripts, which would you choose? 1, Power Pack, 2, The New Warriors, or 3, Doom Patrol? And he says, P.S. You do not have complete control and must stay true to the source material.
Doom Patrol.
You'd go Doom Patrol?
Yep.
I'd probably go Power Pack.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it's kind of like, as much as I, don't really get into kid stuff, which kind of sounds weird when I say it like that, but
that sounds really weird.
Now I've just made it even worse.
Wow. All the like, I guess, screening technology is just flashing up red alarm bells going crazy.
But at least it's going on record as I have said, I don't get into kid stuff.
Yeah, true.
Which
means you do get into kid stuff.
I think Power Pack would be really cool, especially if you include Franklin Richards. So I reckon that'd be cool. You say Doom Patrol?
Yep.
I would see that too.
Hell yeah.
100%. You go original team?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. One more?
One more, no more.
Okay. Now. All right, this is from Chris. Chris.
I thought you might have been doing Sean Connery saying Chris.
This is from Chris. What do you define as a superhero? Wouldn't Optimus Prime be one? Now,
No, because he's not human.
Look, this is a personal dig from Chris.
A personal dig?
To me.
Wow, okay.
Because I did also throw up on Facebook, I did also throw up, what's your favorite animated superhero movie? And he threw up the Transformers movie. Now, my only kind of, sort of, like I said, yes, it's a great movie, but does that really classify as a superhero? I still stand by no, Chris. I'm sorry.
Look, you know what? As much as I like to go up against you on things,
yeah,
I'm with you. He's not a superhero.
Are they super? Sure. Are they heroes?
No, they're not super. What's so super about them?
Well, they're robots.
Exactly. They're robots.
Okay, that's true. They're just giant robots. They're robot heroes.
They're heroes.
They're heroes.
Sorry, Chris.
I just can't, like, the other ones that were thrown in there were like Centurions and Mask. And when I was a kid, like, I would have 100% have said, yeah, fuck yeah, Mask are like superheroes for sure.
Yeah, but that's like saying G.I. Joe is a superhero.
Correct.
Which is not.
Well, they're kind of not. I think they have to be super powered.
Here's the thing, though. They might not be superheroes, but they would you say that Cobra is a supervillain?
Well, see, here's the thing. Like, this is where it gets, like...
Is this where, like, equality between heroes and villains, like, needs to be... Like, this issue needs to be arisen?
Well, it does. Like, these are the tough subjects that people just aren't talking about these days.
No, I think we're onto something here, Troy.
But here's the thing. Like, when you think about someone like Mask, like, you could say they have to be, like, superpowered or whatever. And Mask had these, like, kind of superpowered masks that when they, they put them on, they did different things, like, depending on what they were. So you could technically say that's the case. And then you could argue that, oh, no, that's just technology.
But then you've got Iron Man.
But then you've got Iron Man. Chris, you could be fucking right. I know you didn't say, like, Mask necessarily. You were talking about Transformers, but I'm going to throw it out. Fuck, you're right, Chris. Who am I to argue
Wow,
with
you flipped.
I flip-flopped. 100%. Yep. You got me, Chris.
You
That's
got
it,
him
man.
good.
That's it. We are done.
We are done. Troy, where can people find us?
They can find us on Facebook at the Comic Confidential Podcast. They can find us on the Facebook listener community. That is the Comic Confidential listener community. That's all you have to type in for that. We are on Instagram and Twitter at Comic Con Pod. So make sure you check us out there at any given time. We also have a website.
That's comicconpod.com. Past episodes, future episodes, and everything in between. I think that's the cleanest I've ever said that.
Cleanest. We also have a Patreon. That's patreon.com/ComicConPod. You can support the show for as little as $1 a month, which is nothing.
That's pretty cheap.
It's $1.
And like, I don't like to say like, yeah, that's good value. Like, do that because it's the fucking best.
Yeah,
but it is. It's like it's genuinely good value for what you get. You get this podcast early, like 99% of the time.
That's right.
About what, 3 days early?
Sometimes
you get complete access to the Potterheads podcast.
That's right.
Which won't be released for a while.
Yep.
And we also do like little bonus episodes just for the Patreon members.
Called Just the Boys. And look, I don't want to like necessarily say that this is definitely happening, but it's probably definitely happening. I would assume that you'll probably get early access to Netflix and chat.
Absolutely.
As well. So that's going to start within very shortly.
Yeah.
We are pretty well good to go.
We may be recording an episode right after this. Who knows?
What? You don't know. That's it, though. We do want to thank you all for listening once again. Thank you for everything that you do for the show. I do want to take a second once again to congratulate my fabulous co-host. Somebody out there actually decided to marry this guy, and that's happening tomorrow. And I'm going to be there right beside him.
That poor
woman. Not as the person that's marrying him, but as the best man. So congratulations, my friend, once again.
Thank you.
I will see you there tomorrow.
I would hope so.
I will see you right after we finish doing this, when we go and continue drinking, probably. But that is it. We'll be back next week. Thank you for sticking with us in this hotel room. I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, they might have like a couple of different sound qualities. We're going to like a new room for each segment of the show.
We've just had to bounce around. We basically just get kicked out of rooms, and have to move into new rooms. So hopefully it hasn't been like too crazy for you guys out there. But we have enjoyed ourselves, as we always do.
And if you enjoyed the show, why not give us a 5-star rating on iTunes?
Do it. Why not?
We're almost at 80.
Yeah, look, we had a thing that's still happening. We wanted to get to, this is episode 88. We wanted to get to 80 reviews by episode 91.
Was it 91?
It was 91.
That's a weird
Well, it was
mixture.
4.
Oh, okay.
It was 4 weeks from the time that we said it. So we are now currently at 77. So we just need 3 more. And if we get there, one of you 4 will potentially join us. Well, not will potentially. You will join us.
Yep.
For an episode of Just the Boys. So,
damn,
son. If that's what you want, that's happening. All you got to do is review the show. Once again, as I said, thank you everybody for joining us. We'll be back next week. As always, I'm Troy.
And I'm Cade.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
Cheers.
Peace. Done.
On
the road.
On the road.
I thought I told you that we don't stop. All right.
Let's go.